Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream. If you are catching us live on Facebook, please give me a thumbs up and a smiley face. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what city you are watching from. If you are catching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications on the next time we go live. If you are live with us, I thank you for joining us. Let's talk some wrestling. So right now, what we have for you guys is some wrestling news and rumors. That's what I want to talk to you about. Pull up a few articles, dropped a few articles in the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group page and the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group. And I want to talk some wrestling with you guys, some news and rumors. So let's talk some news and rumors. All right, before we start off, we got some visitors. We got Young Cocky Dieseled God. Young Cocky Dieseled the God. Yo, Chicago in here. Thank you, Young Diesel, for joining me. I got my uncle joining me, Jamel Stapleton, One Love Nephew. Thank you, Unc, for joining me. Of course, you remember back in the day, we used to always watch Raw at your house. Remember? Those are the days. All right, guys, let's get into some wrestling news and rumors. First off, let's just talk about this whole CM Punk thing that's happening right now. So CM Punk has returned. He is in AEW right now. He has made his epic return, as we have all hoped he would make during his 7-year hiatus. Right now, it appears that CM Punk has also caused a big uproar in viewership. Of course, we knew that would happen. CM Punk is the man right now who's wielding the star power to change the tides in wrestling at this particular moment. The eye of the sparrow is on CM Punk. Everybody's watching CM Punk to see what's going to happen and what's going to come about his grand return. Right now, as has been reported about CM Punk, it says AEW Rampage sees huge viewership increase from CM Punk's debut. Of course, everybody turned in, a lot of people turned in, but let's talk about exactly what happened in particular. Friday's live AEW Rampage episode drew 1.129 million viewers on TNT, according to Nielsen via Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. You guys can check out Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. Also, I posted the article in the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts page and group, so you guys can check out the article, possibly click on the link and see what Brandon is up to and what he's posting. He says this is up 52.57% from last week's Rampage premiere, which drew 740,000 viewers. Yikes. So 52%. That's a great increase. Friday's Rampage episode drew a 0.53 rating in the 89 to 49 key demographic, right? This is up 76.6% from last week's premiere episode, which drew a 0.30 rating in the key demographic. He also says in an article, he writes, and he goes down in some particulars. He says the 0.53 key demographic rating represents 692,000 between the age bracket of 18 and 49 viewers. This is up 74.75% from the 396,000 in between the 18 and 49 age bracket viewers that last week viewed. 0.30% key demographic rating drew for the premiere. The opening quarter hour with Punk's appearance was watched by 1.341 million viewers, with 842,000 of those being in the 18 to 49 age bracket key demographic, for a rating of 0.65. He says a 0.53 key demographic rating for the Rating Rampage episode is higher than all AEW Dynamite episodes except for the debut in October of 2019. Rampage aired at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT, live from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. The show opened with CM Punk making his long-awaited return to pro wrestling. The appearance was not officially announced ahead of time, but was strongly rumored. The episode also featured Jade Cargill defeating Kara Hogan, Jurassic Express defeating Private Party in AEW World Tag Team Titles Eliminated Tournament, plus Jon Moxley defeating Daniel Garcia, which was the main event. Also, stay tuned for more Rampage ratings, data, and so forth, yada, yada, yada. Below is they have a 2021 AEW Rampage viewership tracker where they show the difference in viewership from August 13th episode to the August 20th episode, which was where CM Punk returned. So with the change in ratings, they may start going up. Young Cocky Diesel the God says, wow, yes, there's been a change in ratings. A change is happening. So not too long ago, Roman Reigns, just to kind of reference Roman Reigns, not too long ago, he made a comment saying that CM Punk is the one who did not. He started making he made a comment about Punk, and he said CM Punk, it was not the guy or the person who was outselling merchandise like John Cena. Then he also says he's not the person who moved the needle a bit like The Rock. Well, Roman Reigns, we have a wake-up call for you, because CM Punk has moved the needle in the ratings department and has now showed WWE that he has lightning in his hands. My man has lightning in his bottle, has lightning in the bottle. He showed there and then again, proving that he is that star power that is needed for AEW. But the question of time and consistency will be placed on CM Punk as to how things will pan out from this moment going forward. Like what to expect from him. How consistent will these ratings begin to build because of his appearance, and because not just because, again, all the pressure is not on Punk. Some of that pressure and a lot of that pressure as well is also on the AEW roster, as far as how well they're consistent and how well they perform and how well that programming can outperform WWE, right? So if they, again, AEW has great programming, has good storylines going on, has intriguing characters. They're still developing. They're still in somewhat of a developmental stage. I'm quite sure Ethan Wick is going to hate me saying that developmental word, but not in the sense that these guys are not experienced wrestlers, but in the sense that AEW is still building as a brand. They're still they've already found, well, the good thing about AEW, they found their identity, and their identity is giving you entertaining wrestling. Like that is their identity. They're going to give you entertaining wrestling wrapped around intriguing characters and good storylines that is centered around good booking that makes sense, and booking that is not unfair or unjust to the talent that they have. So as long as they keep that consistent, and as long as they are able to build off of the star power that CM Punk is producing and build more stars, they're going to be worthy competition for WWE. Next article, CM Punk's shirt sets a record. A couple of the guys in the group chat were going crazy. Everybody was ordering their shirts, trying to get their shirts. you know, Friday was a good night, man. Friday was like Christmas, man. We got the return of CM Punk. It was like Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then on Saturday we had SummerSlam. So, you know, it was good. The Almighty CR21 is joining me on YouTube. He says, "Hey, Almighty, thank you for joining me, my brother, or my sister. I don't know, but thank you for joining me, Almighty. But thank you for joining me. Appreciate you coming on." He says, "Ice cream bars, yes, ice cream bars." You know, actually, there was an article that was printed out that was talking about the bill on the ice cream bars that CM Punk had to pay. You know what? I am going to look up that article. I'm gonna try not to forget it. I seen the article talked about the bill that CM Punk had to pay on the ice cream bars. I gotta look it up because I want to know how much did he pay to pay off that bill for the ice cream bars and make sure all the fans had what they were looking for. Sean Keys says he got his shirt. Eric Allen, Sean Keys is in the house. Thank you, Sean, for joining me. Eric Allen says, "What's up?" Thank you, Eric Allen, for joining me. CM Punk shirt sets a record. Let's get into this article real quick. It says CM Punk sets record for highest selling design in pro wrestling tees history. Again, Roman Reigns. You made a comment and you said that CM Punk has to be able to outsell merchandise like John Cena. And of course, CM Punk is moving that needle. And he's moving that needle towards Roman Reigns to point at and say, "Hey, I can deliver." All right, let's get into this article. As far as I'm just looking through this article real quick to try to find this article on CM Punk and this ice cream bar. I gotta find this article about this tab. But anyway, let me get into the article. Don't want to drift away and stay off topic. Okay, it says early today, Pro Wrestling Tees announced that CM Punk's first AEW shirt design had set the all-time record for T-shirts sold in 24 hours. That's crazy. CM Punk, you deserve it, my brother. You deserve it. Breaking the previous record set by Brody Lee's tribute shirt in December of 2020. It would not be the last record Punk would break. Won't be the last. We have great expectations for you, Punk. In another tweet from Pro Wrestling Tees, the t-shirt company announced that Punk's first shirt is officially the highest selling design in the history of the store. Punk's shirt did so in less than 72 hours, breaking the record held over the past 7 years in doing so. The past 7 years. I wonder who that record was held by. In less than 72 hours, CM Punk has the highest selling design ever on Pro Wrestling Tees. Pro Wrestling Tees tweeted, "This record was previously held by the Bone Soldier Bullet Club shirt for the last 7 years." He broke the Bullet Club's t-shirt that's been held up for the last 7 years. I still have not gotten my Bullet Club shirt. I guarantee you guys, come in the next coming weeks, you will see me in more wrestling attire. I only have like 2 wrestling shirts right now. This is a shame. I have the Shield's last shirt, second to last shirt before they dispersed, and I have I have Roman Reigns' first shirt when he actually went solo. I think it's second and third shirt. The Almighty CRT says, "I went to order the shirt at Pop Out 404 era. He legit broke the website." Yeah, he broke the website. Yeah, the guys in the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group chat was like, "Yo, like I'm trying to order my shirt, and like I can't order my shirt, man." They were trying to order their shirts. Like Sean got a shirt. But Sean made sure he had that shirt. Sean already knew what time it was. As soon as he seen CM Punk, he was like, boom, 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 boom. Almighty CR2 says, "Acknowledge the tribal chief." Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. Listen, your boy Roman making these comments, man. And you know, again, you got to make sure before you make certain comments that you have all the particulars lined up before you sit there and you make these comments, because as I recall, at one point in time, CM Punk was outselling John Cena when he was world champion, his last world champion reign. When he was a face, he was outselling John Cena. That's exactly what was happening. And his merchandise sale began to decline when they turned him heel in order to face The Rock. And he was like, why do you guys have me turn heel? And he was like, my merchandise sales through the roof. I'm outselling everybody right now. He was like, what are you doing? He was like, CM Punk was the man. He was the man at that. When CM Punk had that title, after CM Punk dropped that pipe bomb, people, again, we remember that time. He was the man. He was the man. He was bigger than Cena. There was nothing. I don't care what anybody said. He was bigger than Cena. You know what I'm saying? He was he was that guy. And again, CM Punk got that power now. So now that power is being transferred over to AEW, now we're seeing the residual effects of what CM Punk's star power is producing. Eric Allen says, yo, once Punk showed up, you knew his shirt was going to sell quickly. Sean Keys says, I've been on a mission to collect wrestling tees. Sean Keys says, facts. Yes, he is the man. So Sean Keys is on a mission, and Sean Keys has completed. He still has more missions to complete, because of course there's going to be more wrestlers, but he's got that T, and he's going to continue to complete his mission. Back to this article, it says, but it's crazy because I didn't know how. We all knew how well the Bullet Club T-shirt was selling out. Everybody had it. I'm probably like the only wrestling fan who does not have my Bullet Club shirt. I need my Bullet Club shirt. That shirt has been selling out for years. The last 7 years, that's ridiculous, right? CM Punk breaks that record, and he's going to continue to sell, of course, because he's the man. I need to get my CM Punk shirt. I do like the original one better. Can't even lie, but I want this one to celebrate his independence, his stance, and his stance on the stance that he made when he left WWE and returning to the wrestling world, and to again begin to enforce what he believed in. And that's why we love CM Punk. This is all right. So back to the article. This is just the latest milestone since CM Punk debuted for AEW and at AEW Rampage, the first dance this past Friday in the United Center. Demand has been so high for Punk's shirt, both a plain white and ringer version, that lines stretch across the United Center following Punk's debut Friday, and the websites for both Pro Wrestling Tees and Shop AEW both crashed for a time. The site crashed. Yeah, the guys was telling me they were hitting up the group chat. They was like, yo, the site is crashing because everybody trying to get their tees. You see Pro Wrestling Tees tweeted below. It's crazy, man. #1 selling design of all time. Crazy. Your boy Punk is doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. In other news, let's get to this. Tony Khan seemingly responds to Nick Khan interview. If you guys don't know, there are two Khans in the wrestling world. There are two Khans. There's Tony Khan and there's Nick Khan. Let me briefly explain to you guys who these two Khans are, give you a brief summary. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know. Tony Khan, he is the head director. He's the guy who's running AEW talent, and pretty much he's the head of AEW, right? The main investor inside of AEW. He's the guy that made AEW happen. He's the primary investor. I'm quite sure they have other investors that are investing as well as the brand builds, but he's the guy who gave and financed the backing of AEW. Then you have Nick Khan. Nick Khan is this guy who is sort of like a Vince McMahon beside Vince McMahon. Yes, I said it correctly. I said it right. I know it sounds weird. He's like Vince McMahon beside Vince McMahon. So Nick Khan has somewhat of some kind of pull of finances and booking, and he makes like grand decisions, like Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon has given him that sort of power of attorney to do that in WWE. So with the recent firings of like the wave of the Bray Wyatts and the Braun Strowmans and Aleister Blacks and stuff like that, like he's more than likely part of the reason why we don't have that. So, you know, we ultimately do blame Vince, because Vince, you gave that power to this Nick Khan, the evil Khan. We have two Khans. We have the good Khan, which is the, you know, Tony Khan, and we have the evil Khan, which is the Nick Khan, who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, right? Who's firing wrestlers, and he's operating like one of these writers from WWE that's been hired on, who knows nothing about wrestling, who writes wrestling, you know, storylines, and it's like, what are you doing? Because you know nothing about wrestling. But we have this Nick Khan who comes in, doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So now we have the battle of the two Khans, the good Khan who brought us CM Punk, who we love to this day and we will never forget. You know, we have Tony Khan. We have Tony Khan, who's the good Khan, and we have Nick Khan, who's the evil Khan. I get that mixed up. So many Khans. Anyway. All right, so let me get into the article. WWE President Nick Khan was recently interviewed by Ariel Helwani, hopefully I pronounced that right, for WWE BT Sports, where he delved into topics such as WWE's numerous releases over the last year and the overhaul of WWE's NXT. This is Nick Khan, right? Delving into it. Let's hear what you have to say, Nicholas. During this interview with BT Sports, Nick Khan, this is Nick Khan, the evil Khan in WWE, he stated that WWE NXT would be moving away from signing independent talent in favor of younger talent WWE can mold into future superstars. They were doing that in the first place, Nick, if you knew what the hell you were doing. He also confirmed reports over the last several weeks then the NXT brand would feature a rebranding with a whole new look and feel. Shut up, Nick. Leave it to Sean. Leave it to Triple H, and leave it to William Regal to do that. We don't need you. They didn't need you. Shut up, Nick. This is Nick Khan we're talking about, evil Khan. All right. We are doing a complete revamp on NXT led by Triple H. You should let Triple H lead it because you don't know what you're doing, Nick. Sorry. All right. Who is really, this is what Nick is saying. Who is really one of the architects of the original NXT. Nick said, what we found is part of why we did the tryout yesterday. What we want to make sure is easy for folks who want to be WWE stars is figuring out how to become WWE stars. And blah, 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 Nick. He says, in terms of an NXT rebrand, look for it in the next couple of weeks. It's going to have a whole new look. It's going to have a whole new feel. And we believe because of a lot of the indie wrestlers, if you will, have come through our system and are in our system with SmackDown and Raw now. We don't want to just keep doing that same thing. We want to look elsewhere for great young talent. The subject appeared to get the attention of AEW President Tony Khan, who soon after took to Twitter, apparently to respond to Nicholas' comments. Professional wrestling is an art form. Tony Khan tweeted, he said, it's an art form. Sean and Ethan will be happy about this comment. He says, you don't create great artists by training them all to paint by numbers in the same way. You tell him, Tony, right? This is not the first time the two Khans have crossed paths, following reports of WWE being in talks to work with New Japan Pro. In May, Tony Khan would cut a tongue-in-cheek promo against Nick prior to AEW Friday Dynamite in May. Nick Khan ultimately never addressed Tony's comments. You can read Tony's tweet below. All right. I already read Tony's tweet. Tony, you said it well. Sean Key says, talk, Tony. talk. Exactly. Like, you know, again, and he said it very well. I want to repeat what Tony said. He said, professional wrestling is an art form. He says you don't create great artists by training them all to paint by numbers in the same way. Right? So he's pretty much trying to tell them, like, you're trying to tell these guys, you're trying to tell people how to be creative when they already are born with that level of creativity. And it's not about trying to build the numbers, but it's about trying to build a great performer. It's not about trying to cut budgets and make more money. It's about trying to build a great performer, build a great entertaining promotion, you know. But anyways, Vince McMahon has been falling from that art. In other news, we have Nick Khan again. We have Nick Khan again. This is very interesting. So you guys are gonna like this one. I think you guys are gonna like this one. I think this is an interesting one. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but this is fun. Nick Khan on how WWE Raw would benefit with a 4-hour program. And the hole gets deeper. Yes, it gets deeper. Yes. Sean Key says, as the product grows, the money will come. WWE set this model, so I don't understand moving from it. Exactly, Sean. Like, yeah, they set the model, man, and it's like they're trying to set another one. They're trying to create another one. But guys, this is another article. Nick Khan on how WWE would benefit with a 4-hour with a 4-hour program. This is what Nick Khan is saying. Nick, you need to be fired. Nick needs to be fired. He's under a lot of pressure. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a picture of him, but he's under a lot of pressure. He's under a lot of pressure. He don't look like he hits the gym because he's steady stressing out about how he can cut budgets and screw up the roster and save Vince McMahon money. And now he wants to add a 4th hour to a 3-hour program that already sucks. Okay. Recently, WWE resident and chief revenue officer. So this is what his official title is. He's chief revenue officer. Nick Khan sat down for an interview with BT Sports. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to get into the chunks of it. And he was asked whether he believes Raw SmackDown is a better show. He says, this is what he quotes. He says, I think both shows are great right now. This is what Nick Khan says. He says he thinks Raw and SmackDown are great right now. Shut up, Nick. You don't know what you're doing. You need to be fired. He says, I think what Roman has developed as this monster, he said, I think what Roman has developed as this monster heel has been amazing for television. At the same time, if you look at what is happening on Raw, we think a lot of the talent that people saw as developing talent are now crossing over. So both shows are equally impressive to me. Nick Khan is impressed by the state of Raw and SmackDown. I want that to marinate for a little bit. Nick Khan is impressed by the state of Raw and SmackDown. And viewership is down. How are you impressed? How are you impressed? This is sad. This is who the chief revenue officer is. Triple H needs to get his sledgehammer, walk into that office, bust his ankles real quick, kick him out, pedigree him on the table, and kick him out the door. We don't need you, Nick, because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Khan addressed if he believes Raw could benefit from going to 2 hours as opposed to the current 3. He notes that Raw would actually benefit from going to 4 hours and elaborate as to why they stay at the current 3 and 2 hour shows. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Nick. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. I don't know if I want to read anymore. But I'll just read and give my, my opinion. Guys, please share your comments. Again, if you guys are catching me on you guys are catching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, give us a smiley face, give us a like, drop a comment in the comment section below, hit the subscribe button. If you guys are catching us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up, give us a share so that all your wrestling buddies can tune into Wrestling Talks and Thoughts as we talk these topics. Shut up, Nick Khan. Shut up. That's going to be my my mantra every time I watch a Raw and SmackDown. Is shut up, Nick. Because I know Nick is back there giving these stupid ideas. And the same stupid ideas is the reason why Raw and SmackDown is declining. If any of you wrestling fans are tuning in and you probably have a problem with how I feel about Raw and SmackDown, and you don't see the problem with Raw and SmackDown, then you have the problem. But let me not kind of, because maybe some of you guys like the programming the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Raw actually last night wasn't that bad. It was all right. It was watchable. It was so-so, but it was watchable. It was a better show than usual, I can honestly say. But anyway, to get to my point, or to get to the point, Nick Khan is impressed with Raw and SmackDown, and he thinks that Raw could benefit from 4 hours, and he thinks the programming is great. He thinks it's great. You know why? Nick Khan thinks the program is great? Because he's probably part of the reason why the programming is the way it is. So he has to talk well of it, because if it's horrible, then it shows that he needs to be fired. And he's not going to point out the obvious issue that ratings are going down, people are losing interest in WWE, and now you have the CM Punk solution. Yes, I said the CM Punk solution. Charlotte is a problem, but CM Punk is a solution. This is what Tony Khan says. He says, listen, from my view, Raw would benefit from going 4 hours so we'd get paid more money. Oh, so it's about you getting more money. It's about sponsorship. Said Khan, SmackDown going 8 hours. But I understand our creative folks are as amazing as they are. There's only so much great content they can produce on a weekly basis. So we're good with the 3 and 2 hour system. Let me go to a little bit to what he says. He says we're looking for any sports date. I'm sorry, I skipped. All right, he says the topic of Saturday night's pay-per-view was brought up. Khan was asked if WWE was considering doing more events on Saturdays. He stated that the WWE is always looking for days on the calendar where there is not a major sports event. He then pointed to the upcoming New Year's Day pay-per-view as an example. He says we're looking for any sports date on the sports calendar where a sporting event doesn't exist, notes Khan, and I'll give you an example of that. So this coming New Year's Eve is a Friday night. Atlanta expects 300,000 to 400,000 people to go to Atlanta for New Year's Eve. And by the way, the 2 college football playoff games are also on that Friday. December 31st, New Year's Eve, my belief is that people who are going to Atlanta, they don't wake up the Saturday morning after a long night out for New Year's Eve and say, okay, let's go home. They want to do something on Saturday night. So that's great strategy planning. He goes a little bit further into how they're going to plan, their events and all this other stuff. But shut up, Nicholas. Shut up, Nick Khan. We want you to shut up. Shut up. We don't care about your opinions because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Shut up, Nick. Sean says, as the product grows, the money will come. Oh, I'm sorry. Sean Key says, with what talent? I don't know, Sean. I have no idea. I don't know, Sean. Apparently, Nick Khan thinks the talent. He thinks it's fine. He thinks it's okay. But of course, Sean. Nick can't say that the programming is bad, and he can't say that the viewership is down, and he can't say that the booking is horrible, because of course he's a part of that happening. And if he says that, not only he's a part of that, but there are people who are also part of that, like Bruce Pritchard, who's good friends with Vince McMahon, and then Vince McMahon, who's part of the booking. So, again, and whoever else is part of the booking and the writing team. So, of course, if he says, we can do better, they don't want ill will to be spoken of the show. So what they're going to do is they're going to speak well and tell you, yeah, it's great, it's good, you got to watch it because it's good, it's great. And it's like, we're looking at it like, nah, you need to step your game up. You know what I'm saying? You need to fix this. You know what I'm saying? Sean Keys also says, well, when he does interviews publicly, he can't say what he really feels. Yeah, Sean, right? Exactly, It's horrible. It's horrible. Just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on from this jackass, Nick Khan. This guy's an idiot. You know what? Before I get to that, let's get to this. Impact to announce big new distribution deal. I am interested in knowing what this is. Impact is announcing a new distribution deal, right? Anthem CEO Leonard Asper took to Twitter today and teased a big distribution deal for Impact Wrestling. Asper responded to an older tweet announcing Steve Micklin versus Petey Williams for last Friday's Emergence special, which Micklin won, and thanked fans for watching the Impact product. He also touted insanely increasing numbers and said a big new distribution deal will be announced soon. Hey, y'all, I'm here. Was busy trying to keep up with Impact Wrestling launching so many new channel streams and products. Getting pumped things. Thank you for watching in insanely increasing numbers. Big new distribution deal coming soon, Asper wrote. I want to know what this deal is. Asper did not provide any further deals, and there's no word yet on what Anthem has in the works for Impact. The company launched their Impact Insiders membership plan on YouTube a few weeks back, and they have announced multiple international TV deals in the past several months. Stay tuned for updates on Asper's comments. You can see his full tweet below. So I really hope that Impact gets the proper distribution deal that they want, as far as it being distributing Impact content, because with better distribution deal means more money, means more viewership, and it also means that they can build up their brand. How great would it be? And I'm gonna be honest with you, how great would it be to have WWE, AEW, and Impact all competing at the same time on a high level? How great would that be, right? Be a wrestling fan's wet dream. John Cena, you can't see me. You can't see me. You can't see me. And we might not be seeing John Cena for a very long time. Other news, John Cena on when he will retire from WWE. As you guys have noticed, and well, I can't say noticed, but we're going to see what's going to happen on Smackdown, because I don't know if John Cena is going to make an appearance on Smackdown, but it was been reported that Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar are supposed to be on Smackdown this Friday. Of course, Becky Lynch is going to be explaining her character angle. We're going to get a glimpse of what her character angle is, whether it's heel or babyface. It's been reported that she's supposed to be heel. And Brock Lesnar, on the other hand, is going to be making a statement against Roman Reigns as to issuing a challenge, of course, at the next pay-per-view that's coming up. But we don't know if John Cena is going to be on Smackdown this Friday to reissue a challenge to Roman Reigns and to continue this feud of the 1, 2, 3 pinning so that John Cena can break the record that he already set in WWE for most title reigns. All right, veteran WWE star. Well, he actually didn't set the record. It was Triple H who set the record. Then I believe he held the record up until John Cena breaking it. Or I think it was either John or Edge, because Edge has 12 title reigns. Anyway, 12 or 13. 12 or 13. Anyway, veteran WWE superstar John Cena appeared on ABC's Good Morning America this morning to promote the Vacation Friends movie, which hits Hulu this Friday. John Cena's getting those Hollywood checks. I don't blame you, Cena. Get your money. Stay away from wrestling, please. And even though I want him to stay away from movies, but can't stop that. He wasn't bad in Suicide Squad. If you guys seen Suicide Squad, it was pretty good. Cena did his thing. I enjoyed him in that. I didn't plan on watching Fast and Furious 9. You're not going to catch me watching it. They're going crazy with Fast and Furious. I mean, they're like 9. They're on 9. Anyway, the only movie series I like right now that is continuing on is Mission Impossible. Leave that alone. Anyway, and Lord of the Rings. Cena was about the loss to the WWE Championship Roman Reigns at Saturday's SummerSlam pay-per-view. He joked about finishing second place. Oh man, I finished second place. Cena joke. Unfortunately, in WWE, you don't get a silver medal, but I'll take second place. Cena was then asked if he's ever going to retire from pro wrestling or if he's allowed to retire. It's a good question. This is what Cena says. I think ... And I've made this comment before. I think I will try to do my best I can until I feel as if I'm offending the consumer, Cena said. Interesting comment. A lot of times you want to kind of hold on to the lightning bolt. There is nothing like the energy of being in that ring with the audience around you. There's nothing like it. I've had the fortune and opportunity to do a whole lot of stuff. That energy is indescribable. That place is my home. I wouldn't be who I am without it. The audience is my family, so I love the environment, but I also want to be kind to them, and I don't want to do it selfishly just to do it. Thank you, Cena. I still feel good, even though I finished second. I still feel pretty good. So I still feel as if I have something to contribute. So time will tell. Cena will be back, of course. Cena's a machine. He's going to be back. That's all he quoted. Interesting enough, and this just hits me. The almighty CR2 says Cena is still advertised for Smackdown MSG in 2 weeks. Sweet. Okay, so Cena's coming back. All right, great. Thanks, almighty. Appreciate that. So Cena will be showing back up for programming. I'm gonna say this. This is what hit me. Cena did not get cheered until he took time off, which is what we wanted him to do, but had a formidable heel that he can go against that was credible enough for Cena to put over and for Cena to win against. And I say that to say that that was the problem that Austin had when he had risen through the ranks. And he had already beat Shawn, and he was the man. And it was like, who do we have for Austin to face? We need a heel. We need a big heel. And that's where The Rock was developed. That's when Triple H was developed. And luckily enough, in The Rock, we had a superstar. In Triple H, luckily enough, we had a heel. But in Austin, fortunate enough, we had an anti-hero. So we had the best of all three worlds in wrestling. Never done. I don't think it's ever been as mastered as those three characters in WWE. I don't want to digress, but my point that I want to make is that once Austin had already, continued his feud with The Rock, he moved on to Triple H, and they started their feud. And then in that feud, it was like, okay, they need to team up together because Austin does have a heel side. And then once they did the 2-man power trip, and Triple H got injured, that storyline was over. Austin didn't have anybody else to contend with. Again, Rock was in Hollywood. Triple H was doing his babyface thing, and they had already ran their course on, Triple H being the one that hit him with the car that injured him in Survivor Series and him having to be out. So they already ran that course with that, to the point that, Triple H was so convincing as a heel, he made, Austin join him. Anyway, to get to my point, John Cena has had that problem once he had gotten the championship belt. Now, some may argue that Edge was the one, or was that person that kind of like gave John Cena his run, and Triple H was the one that kind of gave John Cena a run, as far as going back and forth, but not really. Not really. They weren't built. Triple H was on Raw most of the time, and then him and John Cena had their feud, but they couldn't keep that going because they needed a major superstar on Raw. They needed a major superstar on SmackDown. So that's why Triple H and John Cena, were on two different brands most of the time. So the major heel that was built was Randy Orton. And the way they managed that feud between Randy and John Cena, they could have managed it better because they never main evented a WrestleMania together. And you would think how John Cena and Randy Orton were built up together that they were both main event at WrestleMania, and they never did. And I feel like they should still do that. That's a main event headline at WrestleMania, John Cena versus Randy Orton. I will pay this. I want to see that to this day. At WrestleMania, I want to see that big match. I want to see that storyline being built. That would be, and especially right now, especially in the capacity that Randy Orton's operating in, especially in John Cena coming back and having, getting back the love from the fans, to see him go back and forth with Randy, later on down the line, that'll be dope. Especially to have, after him and Matt Riddle have their run, to have Randy Orton and John Cena have a match at WrestleMania. Will be dope. It'll be dope. I'd love to see it. But that was the thing with Randy Orton. So I make that point I bring that up to say, with John Cena, for the past few years, he hasn't had people that they built up to be credible opponents for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just ran through them. And to me, I always felt like the best person that should have went one-on-one with John Cena to this day, I'll never take this away, and I always feel like it's always two people, Randy Orton and Chris Jericho. Especially Chris Jericho having that rock and roll persona. Think about it, the rock and roller versus the hip hopper, like John Cena having a hip hop gimmick, Chris Jericho having a rock and roll gimmick, having those two collide would have been a dope feud if they would have built it properly, putting the belt on John Cena, putting the belt on Chris Jericho, with his whole Y2J gimmick, not the whole suit and tie gimmick that he came back with. I hated when Jericho did that, the whole suit and tie. I mean, even though he was still good and on the mic and stuff, he was just still better as the Jericho we know with the flashy clothes and the glitter stuff and all that stuff. But that Jericho going against John Cena, and putting the belt on that kind of Jericho being a heel, and then having Jericho hold the belt for like 6 to 7, 8 months, and then have John Cena go over on him on a WrestleMania would have been perfect, but John Cena had to hold the belt all the time, because he's the problem solver, but whatever. But that would have worked for John Cena a long time ago, but that didn't work because they didn't do it right. Anyway, on to our main headline topic. We have the topic that has a lot of people in a place of pondering. And that's Adan Cole. Top superstar finish up with NXT at TakeOver. Officially a free agent. So we was going back and forth in the group. Josue posted an article about Cole. I didn't get to read it because I had to get here and start with you guys so we could talk about this very briefly. But I'm gonna read the article. The article was published yesterday. I'll hit the chat to see what Josue posted. There was an article posted online. So it's officially confirmed. Yep, got it. It's officially confirmed. Adan Cole is going from WWE. He's done. He's done. Adan Cole is done with WWE. So I'm going to change the topic. Adan Cole done with WWE. He's done. Adan Cole is done. Let me read the article first before I start going to conversation about it. You guys have any comments? Drop a comment in the section below. If you guys are catching me live on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. Give us a share to share with all your wrestling buddies. Share it in your wrestling groups so we can have some more wrestling fans come on and give their opinions. I would love to hear from you guys. Love to hear what you guys think about these topics, this news that's going on. The wrestling world is being twisted around right now. It's being shaken up. It's crazy, right? This is a lot of interesting things that are happening right now. It's an interesting time for pro wrestling, but right now I think we're hitting a milestone. We're hitting like something great right now in wrestling. Where talent's being shaken up, and whenever you have shakeups, you always have great results that come out of it. And there's gonna be a lot of superstars right now in this era that's going to be produced. We're going to have a lot of great superstars, ones that we're going to be talking about for years, but we're definitely going to have a lot of great conversations about what's happening. Sean Key says his last match was at TakeOver, and his contract is officially up on Friday. Right. His contract is officially up on Friday. I'm going to read this article. It says, so much for that. The wrestling world has been changing in a big way all over the place. And that is probably going to be the case for a long time to come. We are seeing wrestlers move from one promotion to another, and some of the moves have been quite surprising. This time, though, it seems like something you probably have been expecting for a little while. According to PWInsider.com, Adan Cole finished up with NXT on Sunday night at TakeOver 36. There is no word on where he is going at the moment. There's no word on where Adan Cole is going. More than likely, Adan Cole is going to go with his wife. And I'm quite sure he's in the midst of putting himself out there, hanging in the balance, waiting for Tony Khan to give him an offer. But guys, I want you guys to think about this too. Tony Khan just signed over CM Punk, so we don't know how much money that's for. I'm quite sure Punk wasn't greedy about it, but we don't know how much money that is. And of course, they have to budget what they can do and how much finances they can extend to certain talent. And then also, they have to be able to manage the talent that's coming in. So if they bring in Adan Cole, there has to be some kind of way they're going to manage it. So I don't know how they're going to do it with Adan Cole, but my assumption would be is that Adan Cole is going to be under some kind of not developmental deal, but some kind of free agent deal. This is what I'm assuming, right? Where he comes in, he wrestles for NXT, but he's also able to wrestle for Impact, wrestle for New Japan Pro, something like that. He's probably going to do something like that until he can solidify himself in AEW, because guys, think about it. AEW has been forking out a lot of cash to incoming wrestlers and signing these contracts. So I'm quite sure Tony Khan is probably trying to hold out for someone like a Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman. But he's going to want a person like Adam Cole, and you guys going to want Adam Cole. According to PW Inside, Adam Cole finished up Saturday night, blah, 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 blah. Cole had a meeting with Vince McMahon earlier this month, but it was not clear if he had come to terms on a new deal, and his contract was expired. Cole is a free agent and able to appear anywhere he likes at any time. Cole is a heck of a free agent. Check out what might be coming. Check out if he might be coming to a new promotion. So that's it. His contract expires Friday. It's going to be an interesting pull. Sean says, I'm sure the Bucks, Kenny, and Cody going to make sure he signs with AEW. I forgot about that. You're right, Sean. With AEW, plus his fiance is there. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about the Bucks because he's part Bullet Club. Shoot, all they need is AJ and Finn, and it's a wrap, man. We got like the new NWO. Jesus Christ. Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, the Good Brothers, the Young Bucks. Could you imagine? I don't think I'll watch WWE. I think I'll be watching all AEW. I promise you. I promise you, Sean. I promise you. If all those guys came over in AEW, I won't watch WWE for a while. I'll be all AEW. I promise. Adam Cole. Adam Cole is done with WWE. Sean says, all they missing is the Gorillas of Destruction. Yeah, I got to look these guys up. I didn't have time yesterday because I had to go to bed. I had to sleep because I had to wake up, in the morning. I had to wake up, got some things to do in the morning. But I'm going to look them up as soon as I get off. As soon as we finish this podcast, I'm going to check them out. Gorillas of Destruction. Yeah, I got to look these guys up. But yeah, man, like if we had this, you know what I'm saying? Like we had Finn and AJ, you know what I'm saying? Like the two last pieces, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's Finn Balor. Like if Finn goes, I'm done with it. I'm probably, I don't know if I'll be done yet. I probably wait till like see what happens, see what they still do with Bobby and see what they do with Roman and stuff like that. But if Finn and AJ go, if you got both of them at the same time in AEW at the same time, I might be done with WWE. I might be done. I probably will be done with WWE for a while. I'll probably check here and there. Probably got to check on it here and there. But, see what's happening with Roman because he's still one of my favorites. And Bobby, he's one of my favorites. But, and Triple H. But anyway, Adam Cole. We'll see what's going to happen with Adam Cole right now. And but, yeah, we probably can expect him to show up in AEW sometime in September. But it's going to be nuts. He sat down with Vince, had this conversation with Vince. And, again, that's the problem with Vince. I'm sorry, I just said whatever I said in my head and just said that's the problem with Vince. The problem with Vince is that he doesn't watch other promotions. So he doesn't know what kind of fanfare that some of these guys bring with them. But guess who knows? Triple H knows. Shawn knows. William knows. I bet you Bruce Pritchard probably knows. I'm quite sure. What is my guy? Paul Heyman knows. I'm quite sure Paul knows. I know Paul knows. Paul's a smart guy. I like Paul. Paul's a well-rounded guy. He likes to look at everything. You know what I'm saying? Paul Heyman is he's a guy. He's a jewel, man, who saved a lot of careers in WWE and helped a lot of careers as much as he could. But, again, Triple H probably told Vince, like, don't let that guy go. Don't let Adam go. If you can, keep Adam. And I think that's one of the reasons why Finn is on the main roster. Because I know 100% Triple H is like, if I let Finn go and Finn goes to AEW, the guy who created Bullet Club, go over there. It's going to be mayhem. This is crazy. This is going to be crazy. So, but Finn said he's not finished with WWE. He feels like he has a lot to prove. He says he wants to continue on in WWE, but I'm quite sure Triple H has talked to Vince and said, yo, don't let this guy go. Like, this is who this guy was in New Japan Pro. This is what this guy has built. This is what this guy has built. You know what I'm saying? This is what this guy has built with the Good Brothers and Tonga and all these guys originally with the Bullet Club. Like, this is how long this thing has been lasting. Like, this is how long the Bullet Club has lasted throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still going on right now. Like, he left and they had more leaders. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cut the head off the snake and the head just keeps growing back. Like, this is a big thing. Bullet Club is big. And I'm quite sure that's the reason why they allowed Balor Club to be, to have a short stint in WWE. I'm quite sure they allowed the club to have a short stint in WWE. You know what I'm saying, with AJ and the Good Brothers and Finn Balor and the Good Brothers. I'm quite sure they allowed that to happen for a short stint because they even knew, like, this is big. Allow Bullet Club to be in WWE. But, of course, I think WWE is probably not big on the bullet in the name Bullet Club because of, gun violence and the whole NRA and politics and stuff like that, and gun laws and stuff like that in politics. So Linda McMahon was into politics. So having a Bullet Club in WWE and WWE being a big promotion, and you got a group called Bullet Club and that promotes possible gun violence and yada yada yada. So they're real big on family friendly things. So I'm quite sure that's probably why we never had Bullet Club in WWE. That probably was the big issue, just the fact that it was called Bullet Club. But again, AEW might be a different story. So I had another article about change up on a revamp, but Tony Khan already touched on those things. You know what? I want to know what this bill looked like. I want to know what this bill looked like for these ice cream bars that CM Punk purchased. I want to know what this bill looked like. I want to know how much he paid for it. I'm going to look this up. I'm trying to check it out right now. I'm looking for the article right now. I'm just checking it out. Bear with me. I'm sorry. Because I need to know. I need to know. Okay. Let's see. Because I need to find out how much this guy paid for all these ice cream bars. Eric Bischoff also made a comment. He said CM Punk signing with WWE gave WWE a kick in the ass. He says, gave him a big kick. Let's see. I'm going to find, here we go. Found it. Found it. Got it. All right. Because I need to find out. I need to know. I'm quite sure you guys are curious to know. CM Punk paid this ice cream bill. I want to know how much CM Punk paid for this ice cream bill. Again, if you guys are catching me live, you guys are catching us live, Wrestling Talks and Thoughts live on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a share. Give us a smiley face. Also, if you're catching us on YouTube, give us a subscribe. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about these topics. Drop a comment about anything pertaining to wrestling or what's going on right now. Respond to you. Post your comment down below. We'll talk about it. All right. CM Punk paid the bill for fans at AEW Rampage. I want to see if they actually put the price, how much he paid. Shoot, they didn't even pay it. They didn't even show the price, but they actually showed a picture of the ice cream bar. I'm gonna try to share it with you guys and show you guys what the ice cream bar actually looks like, because he actually has his own ice cream bar. CM Punk paid the bill for the free ice cream bars given to fans after Friday's AEW Rampage premiere at United Center in Chicago. As noted, Punk made his big return to pro wrestling on Friday night and announced that he is with AEW for the long term. He will face Darby Allin at AEW All Out on September 5th. Punk wrapped his promo by announcing that fans could pick up free ice cream treats on their way out the venue later that night. They have a video clip. It says, this is very interesting. They posted a clip of Punk's Rampage promo also below, but I'm going to share with you guys the picture of the ice cream bar. Show you what it looks like. So this is the ice cream bar. So CM Punk, chocolate covered vanilla bean ice cream bar, CM Punk ice cream bar. So whoever got that, this is 100% delicious, and it says 100%. It says made in Chicago, 100% delicious, one cool treat. CM Punk chocolate covered vanilla bean ice cream bars. CM Punk, you're a genius. You know why? Because you just marketed. You just made yourself a few $1 million, you know, because now he can brand his own ice cream bars and sell them in supermarkets everywhere and make millions of dollars. I'm quite sure this is his like own brand of ice cream bar, and had somebody put the logo on it and, you know, went to some ice cream manufacturer and said, "Oh, make me some vanilla bean chocolate covered ice cream bar. Just make me an ice cream bar." And then eventually he's probably going to like make different types of bars and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he can have his own line of wrestling ice cream bars and make money off of that. He can do that. That'd be a smart idea. But I'm quite sure he did that himself, because it looks like he had that done. It looks like he had it done. Unless Tony Khan did it, you know, for him. And sold it through the AEW brand, which would be smart. Anyways, so with that said, I thank you guys for joining me for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream. You can catch us when we go live by hitting that subscription button on YouTube, by hitting that notification bell every time the live notification pops up in the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group and Wrestling Talks and Thoughts page. If you guys are new to the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts podcast, please go on Facebook, type in Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group, and just like it, and you'll be a part of the group. Or go to the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts page and hit the like button, or click to be added to the group, or be added to the page, and I will add you as the admin, and you can come on. You can post wrestling content as much wrestling content as you would like to have discussions. We'll be posting our wrestling articles and wrestling content, so you guys can view Guys Talk Wrestling, and then we go live usually every Tuesday or every Saturday. But again, we're going to try to go. We're actually in the midst of scheduling more lives throughout the week. So you'll either catch me and J Mac Main, or you may just catch me, or you may catch J Mac Main. But we are going to be scheduling more lives throughout the week so that we can have more frequency of wrestling content for you guys to talk more wrestling. And we are going to be covering AEW. So AEW is going to be showing Wednesday night. So we're going to try to cover Thursday night for AEW. So yeah, so we're going to be on it. AEW. So again, we'll be setting up the schedule as to the times that we're going to be going live and the days that we're going to be going live and what shows we're going to be covering. And also you'll be notified as far as when the live is being posted, what topics we'll be talking about, and then also as the show goes on, sometimes the show may be more so about news and rumors, or the show may be about a particular show. I didn't cover Raw because I was not really that excited about Raw. We had Alexa Bliss, who came out and challenged Charlotte Flair, which I was very, very excited about, very happy about, because Charlotte Flair is now a 14-time something, 13-time women's champion, right? She set a record. She's a 14-time women's champion, so they're trying to make her as prominent as a wrestler, as a father or whatever, as far as the many title reigns or whatever. But anyways, as far as Raw is concerned, The Miz and John Morrison finally broke up. If you guys didn't catch that, The Miz and Morrison broke up. They broke up during a segment of Moist TV. The Miz kept feeling like John Morrison was throwing him under the bus with certain situations, and he got frustrated. And at the end of the segment, Miz jumped on him. And Red RKO retained their titles. They fought against AJ Styles and Omos. You had a match against Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. And you had a match against, you had a tag match, Damian Priest and Bobby Lashley versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. It seems like they're trying to bring Drew McIntyre back into the heavyweight title picture. We were talking about this last night in the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group chat. Anthony Cobb mentioned, he's like, if they try to bring Drew back into the picture, they can't bring him back, because apparently there was a stipulation to whereas Bobby Lashley Drew McIntyre couldn't fight Bobby Lashley if he won their last match. So that would be it for Drew. And Bobby Lashley won, of course, with the help of MVP. And he's not supposed to be fighting at all in no capacity. So Bobby doesn't really have a contender right now. But I think that contender is going to be in Big E. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I believe it's going to happen with Big E. And Big E is going to cash in on Bobby. Don't know how, don't know when, but I think it's going to happen. And I think Big E should hold the World Heavyweight title. And I think Finn Balor should be the one that goes over on Roman, in my opinion. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream. And I will see you guys later. Peace.